open wound, our sweetest torture. We'll be starting soon. We hold hands in the moonlight as our passions come true. And in the confusion, sustain a contusion that properly cared for won't heal. And our love is like an open wound. Don't call the doctor. I'll be better soon. Then you'll infect me, knowing I'll infect you, knowing nothing can make us immune. And our love.
That's funny, but that's serious. Knowing you'll affect me, and I'll affect you. You know, if you think that maybe, just the people just don't have it. Maybe you think that. Maybe you think, hey, white supremacy is right. These people are just inferior. They're just never going to get right. Man, my people, there's a reason that so many of us come out here and fight for us. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the 60s, the rebellions and all that different stuff. It's not. We have seriously been conned. This is deeper than the whole African Indian thing because this happened not that long ago. And you can see how they did it. Control out of chaos is when you start a problem and then you give a solution. Let's look at this, man. Let's look at this shit, man. And I just kind of surprised myself with this. I wasn't trying to. My brain always works. My brain doesn't stop. It stays working. Just make sure you guys are there. All right. I could read it from there, but it's better for me to read it off my phone. It's the same thing. It's just closer. So, the Communist Party, USA, CPUSA, officially the Communist Party of the United States of America is a far-left communist party in the United States. It was established in 1919 in the wake of the Russian Revolution, emerging from the left wing of the Socialist Party of America. 1919. It's a very interesting year to use, seeing how Red Summer is around this time. And then remember, 5 years after 1919 is the end of the American Indian Wars, which is in 1924. So if we go to the next thing, I'm going to put it all together for you. Let's go to the Great Depression. The Great Depression, PBS, in Mississippi, where blacks traditionally held certain jobs on trains, several unemployed white men seeking train jobs ambushed and killed the black workers. The only group in early years of the Depression that concerned themselves with black rights of rural blacks was the Communist Party. I'm going to say that again. The only group in the early years of the Depression that concerned itself with the black rights of rural blacks was the Communist Party. Remember, the Communist Party is created in 1919. It's an offshoot of the Russian Revolution. It is a far left Communist Party. So the left is the Democrats. The left has always been the Democrats. Okay? Check this out. We can read all of this, but I want you to read fine print. In Atlanta, Georgia, a Klan-like group called the Black Shirts paraded carrying signs that read, "No jobs for niggers until every white man has a job." In other cities, people shouted, "Niggers back to the cotton fields. City jobs are for white men." And in Mississippi, where blacks traditionally held certain jobs on trains, several unemployed white men seeking jobs ambushed and killed the black workers. The only group in the early years of the Depression that concerned itself with black rights of rural areas was the Communist Party. Now, they say the Communist Party successfully fought to save the lives of the Scottsboro boys, the 9 black youth falsely charged with rape in Alabama. 8 were sentenced to death. Now, let's keep it real with ourselves. What does rural area mean? What do they mean by that? When they talk about the only people that cared about blacks in these rural areas was this Communist Party. What does that mean? Rural area means land. When they talk about whites living in a rural area, y'all talking about hillbillies. They ain't had no fucking land. Remember, there's only 2% that were slave owners. Everybody else is a bum. What did they say that these white men were? Unemployed. So, Democrats are far left. Those are the Klan members that came and killed those train workers. But then a Communist Party is created. It's a far left group. They're the only ones who stood up for the blacks in the rural areas. Why do blacks not own any land in rural areas anymore? See, you guys ever know there's only 2 ways out of something? And you try to chase the animal to the one end where your homeboy's at, where you can snatch it up, or he chases it to your end where you can snatch it up. That's exactly what happened to black people. And y'all been snatched up in this whirlwind called the Democrats. Why? Because you think that they're your friends. Why don't y'all own no rural area properties no more? Why when I go to, the South and New York and the West Coast, why all the rural countryside? Why don't you own it when that's where you were? Remember, you were on the outskirts. You weren't in the cities. They don't want you in the cities. Why the hell would the white man run America and not be in its major cities? Why would he be in the outskirts somewhere? That doesn't make any sense. The Democrats played us, and they're still doing it. Right now, you got black people in Chicago talking about, oh, we need to go out and act a fool because of ICE and all that, the Black Lives Matter people. And it's like, no. The Boule, the fucking Magnificent Nine, or whatever they call themselves, the Divine Nine, they've already took over the church. They're the paid activists. They're all of them. That's why they're always around the same things. It's a setup. They just put black faces on them. But as long as they're Democrats, they're following the same hustle. It's push you this way, talk all this thug stuff, let you do all that, claim that you care about it, but never cease to stop it. Then want to abolish the police or defund the police, but then want mental social workers and shit to talk to you. Like, you beating up your woman, you're selling drugs, you're shooting people. Like, this goofy ass white person can just talk you out of this. That's why people say therapy is a joke. Motherfuckers need a good ass whooping or need some good correction. It's the only thing that can change it. Talking to a person ain't gonna do nothing. Just look at Black Americans. They fall for the spell of emotions all the time. I'll tell you this much. Put it together yourself. You ain't gotta, feel the way that I'm saying it, but I'm telling you, it's control out of chaos. They start the problems with the Klan, killing you off on the training shit. Then they play the role and act like they're your friend. Oh, we're the Communist Party. Communism ended up turning you into a whining beggar and a terrorist to your own cities, your own communities. It was all the Democrats. The Scottsboro Boys was basically a sacrificial lamb. That's basically what it was. Because they couldn't help the people on the train. They couldn't help the brothers and sisters who lost their rural areas, their houses, their land. So how good was this Communist Party? It wasn't good at all. Even the guy that was the head of the American Nazi Party, he blamed it on the Jews, but same difference. Because we're not the news, you know what I'm saying? Who's to know? Maybe the news was ran by all the small hats, kind of like it still is now. But that's no here nor there. The blood's still on the Democrats' hands. That ain't going nowhere. Just want y'all to analyze some real science and understand why we have this dilemma with our people and how we can't get them out of that party. Because they fucked us on both sides. They played the enemy and the friend. The wolf in sheep clothing. That's Sly Fox. Ghost, man. Keep your mind focused. Keep the signs. It's 2026. Trying to knock these bastards off. Or at least out of our community.